they say everything is bigger in Texas? Well, that holds true for one man's appetite for excellent food. When Michelin finally decided to hand out stars to restaurants in the state, Drew Stephenson made it his goal to try every single one of them. There are more than a dozen spots in the Lone Star State, all fittingly earning a Lone Star from the iconic Dining Guide. In today's Supper with Sylvia, I speak to Drew about what inspired him to do this, even with a newborn baby at home, his top picks for the best of the best in Texas, and his take on our Chicago standouts.
At Mariano's, we love how every product has a story, and some of the best stories come from right here in Chicago.
That's why we started We Love Local. It's our way of shining a light on small businesses and farmers and food makers who pour their hearts into what they do.
When you see a local item on our shelves, you know you're supporting someone's dream and keeping our community strong.
From family recipes passed down for generations to brand new ideas born in neighborhood kitchens, We Love Local brings those stories to your table. Because when local thrives, we all do.
Mariano's is a proud sponsor of the Supper with Sylvia podcast.
Okay, Drew Stephenson from Texas and a foodie. Thanks for joining our podcast.
Thanks for having me, Sylvia. I really appreciate it.
This is so fun. Okay, I love this because Chicago is a city filled with Michelin-starred restaurants. And I had no idea until I learned about you that this is the first time Michelin has visited Texas, and now there's a Michelin guide. So tell me how you found out about this and what inspired you.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Michelin. I think I went to my first Michelin restaurant in 2016 or 17. So I've been doing this a while. I've actually done Chicago. I've been to Alinea, one of the new James Beard nominees or finalists, Galit, Avec, amongst other places. So I've been around. I've done New York City, San Francisco, LA, across Europe. So I've known about Michelin for quite some time. I've always wondered if Texas's food scene was ready to receive a Michelin guide. And it's something I've anticipated for the past 5 years or so. I've heard rumors, have heard people say, I think they might be interested in a Texas guide. So when it finally was announced that they were coming to Texas, I think mid-late last year, I was just insanely excited. So yeah, I mean, I've been following the whole thing pretty closely.
Okay, so you're so excited. You're like, it's finally happening.
Yes.
And then you decide, so then the guide comes out and you find out there are 15 restaurants that have gotten 1 star. Is that correct?
Yeah, there are. Correct.
And throughout, now everybody of course knows, and a lot of people, I used to live in Texas, so I don't think a lot of people realize truly how huge Texas is. We always joke about the fact that you can, like in the Midwest, we can go from one state to another in 30 minutes and 45 minutes, In Texas, it can take you from, I guess from north to south, it can take you 5 to 6 hours. So Michelin has gone throughout the state and it has chosen 15 restaurants. You find out there's 15 restaurants, and then what's the first thought in your mind?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's funny because I did some Michelin predictions, and when I thought, okay, well, what's the landscape here? I know it pretty well. I think we'll get about 15 one-starred restaurants.
Wow.
So the first thought in my mind was like, oh, I'm a genius. I know Texas very well. But it was, I've got to eat at all these places. This is my state. I'm a Texas food guy. So let's take a road trip, several, in fact, and let's go eat at all these restaurants.
Okay, but you didn't just eat at all the restaurants. I understand that you ate at all the restaurants in a matter of 6 weeks. Oh my gosh, do tell.
Yeah, so it was tough. And, it's funny because right when I started this journey, we had a 3-week-old baby. So, and it's our first. We don't have a lot of parenting experience. So my wife is just kind of like, all right, dude, if you need to go escape somewhere to knock off a few stars, for 24 hours, go do it quick, be back fast. I need you. So it was a tough journey. I had already been to the one place in Dallas, our one Lone Star, if you will, which is a restaurant called Tatsu. It's an omakase, great place. So I was like, wow, This is going to be a lot harder because I live in Dallas, way up north, and I'm going to have to take several road trips that are 3, 4, 5, 6 hour drives down south multiple times, and this is going to be tough. So mapped out the logistics, sat down for hours and tried to figure out how to best do this, came up with a plan, executed it, boom.
Wow. And boom, I mean, wow. So we got to back up a little here.
Yeah,
what is
let's
it
do
you
it.
do for a living, and how did you get interested in this world?
So I was in the food industry in a very low level, nothing that would impress any of the new age chefs, but for about a decade. And then after I realized that I wasn't going to make much money doing that, hit the nepotism thing pretty hard and learned my dad's trade and cleaning swimming pools, doing repairs on equipment, and renovations. So now I have my own company that's growing. It's doing pretty well, and that's how we're funding this, if you will.
I was going to say, because
Yeah.
anyone who's ever been needs to know that most Michelin-star dining is not necessarily cheap. It's something you save up for. It's something that you plan for. And if you don't, you feel it fairly quickly. So what on average did you spend at each spot? Would you say each meal was a tasting menu that was around $175, or tell me how that worked out for you in Texas?
So this is the best way I can give it to you. I think the price difference in these places can vary, but it took, so if we're talking the 15-starred restaurants,
Yes.
it was about $3,000 a person without drinks. So whatever the math is there, that would probably average out to around 175, like you said, per person. I don't drink alcohol. I've been sober 10 years, so that helps massively.
Oh, it helps a lot. Okay.
A lot, yeah.
So we are a Chicago-centric podcast, but people from all over listen. In fact, I just got a text from somebody in Texas today talking about one of the podcasts we had done in the past. So we do have some Texas listeners, and for those who are listening, we don't have to go over all 15, but give me your top 2 spots that you went to that you could recommend to your fellow Texans and those who come visit your state.
Yeah, I thought a lot about this. And I'm going to one of those tonight, actually. We're bringing my little baby. They have one little section where they allow children, which is so cool of them. Like, how many tasting menu spots do that?
Right.
But it's Barley Swine in Austin, and then March in Houston.
Okay.
Those, in my opinion, are both serving the best food and also giving the best experience.
Okay, so Barley Swine, you're going tonight. What kind of food do they specialize in?
So it's just very contemporary takes on what would be sort of classic Texas flavors. What they do really well, what I really love about Barley Swine and what makes them so unique, is that they play on Austin's personality. And if you know anything about Austin, they're very quirky, they're very weird, they're very progressive,
Right.
they're very hip, creative, funky, all that good stuff, right? And so their food is a direct mirror of that personality. And I don't think there's a restaurant in Texas that better reflects the personality of the city it's in than Barley Swine. So fun, creative, you just have a blast when you eat their food.
Wow, very impressive. Okay, then
Yeah.
your Houston spot is your next spot, right?
Yeah, so March is they have a very interesting concept. So what they're doing is they create a menu and they tell a story from sort of journeys and pioneering and things that would have happened thousands of years ago. Like think spice trades, think conquering. So they're taking menus and they give you things, like I said, that would have been served 500, 1,000 years ago. So the research that it takes to pull off a project like that is very impressive. And they're going to serve you dishes that you've never heard of, you've never seen, you can't find recipes for. Where are they getting these recipes? How are they researching this stuff? It's crazy.
Okay, let's go back to home, which is the Dallas
Yeah.
area, because I want to know, did you find a few there or one in particular there that you love?
Yeah. So in the Dallas area, we only got the 1 star, but that was Tatsu. It's an omakase place. It's a sushi place run by a guy named Tatsuya Sakaguchi. He was able to help retain a star at a place he ran in New York City. Had some stuff going on in Texas, relatives wanted to come out here, get his own thing going. It's fantastic. It's amazing. But the unfortunate thing is it doesn't really play off Dallas's personality well, like a lot of the other places down south do. So that was a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, you're like, okay, if you're going to be in Dallas, I know you Texans are a proud lot. I know that about you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, we are.
So you've been to all these places now. It's kind of like Neil Armstrong. He walked on the moon, and then a lot of people said after it was over, what are you going to do now? Because you've done it already. So you've hit all 15 stars. What are you going to do with your life? What's next?
I love the Armstrong comparison. That is so flattering. But you got to remember, Sylvia, all I did was eat at 15 restaurants. But no, it's, I think what I'll do is I'll focus on trying to eat a lot or eat at a lot more of the Bib Gourmand places. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of those. And then every year, I think the guide should update pretty well. I expect the new guide every year to come out with at least 2 to 4 new starred restaurants. So I'll go catch up on those. I'll always have it on my Instagram that I've been to all the Michelin-starred restaurants in Texas. And I'll always continue to post reels and show people my journeys of the Texas restaurants in the guide.
So we should explain to people who don't know, Bib Gourmand are the Michelin Guide restaurants that they consider affordable, yet delicious. Mm-hmm. So at a different level of the 1 star, and oftentimes the Bib Gourmands can eventually get that 1 star. So the whole Michelin world is such an interesting place to be and study. A lot of people, they think, why in the world would you spend this much money on that kind of food when you live in a place that has the most amazing, value-priced, amazing food? What was this for you that was so important and your goal?
In
eating at all 15.
Yeah. So like, as opposed to just kind of trying to hit the more casual places.
Why are you willing to spend so much money on what people often say is a restaurant that after you leave, you're still hungry? How many times have you heard that?
Oh my gosh, I know. And I also can't tell you how many times I've gone to McDonald's to grab some fries and a McFlurry after tasting menus that you spend $400 on.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sylvia, that's a really good question. I think so. My first 3-star restaurant I went to was Bennu in San Francisco. That was probably 2017. And the level of cooking there and the way the flavors wash over you, the thoughtful approach, it just sort of turned something on in me when I first experienced that. And there is something that happens when you're really into food and you understand and know how to enjoy a tasting menu put together by a true master. It really does something to you. And those are the experiences, the journeys that you live for. And fortunately, in the food world, if you're like into things like Disneyland, there's only like a few places you can go to in the country. For fine dining, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's sort of this never-ending quest to always go to the next spot, or even if it's the same restaurant that you love, they change the menu very often. So to experience what it's like there in spring or what it's like there in winter. So the journeys are always evolving. They're always there. They're always super interesting. And it feels like there's always another place to go try.
So I love your passion and you speak so well. How does your wife feel about this?
She grew up with a dad who's was in the hotel industry forever. He used to be on the restaurant side of things. So growing up, she had some of the most amazing home cooked meals from a chef father. He sort of, as she got a little older, transitioned into the hospitality side of things. But she knows good food. She has a great palate. She loves everything. She's not picky. So she's not as into it as I am, but she's here for the ride and she loves every minute of it.
That's awesome. Okay. Without naming names, because we're not here to bash anybody, I'm just curious, out of the 15 that you tried, were you disappointed in any one of them?
That's also a great question. And the honest answer is no, I really wasn't. There are some very harsh critics out there, and I'm not one of them. I'm the one that tends to see silver linings. I'm an Enneagram 7, so just explosive excitement and enjoying things and having passion is kind of the
Wait, you're
the
a what?
name of the game. An Enneagram 7. It's
What's
like the
that?
personality.
Oh,
It's a personality rating scale for like elder millennials.
oh,
But
I've never heard of this.
yeah. It's there are 9 types. I'm a 7, which I think is the most fun type to be. And we just love and appreciate life. So
Mhm.
it's very reflective in the way I eat. There are people out there that I swear say that, I had the worst meal of my life at this 2-star restaurant. And I'm like,
Mhm.
really? What? What do you mean? I mean, it's crazy. So there are people who would probably be a lot more critical of some of these places, but I thought that even the places I didn't love were still pretty darn good.
Yeah. I love your personality, Drew. This is
Thank you.
you're my kind of guy, you know? You
Thank you,
just,
Sylvia.
you definitely find the positive in everything. Okay, so let's switch gears here because before Michelin came to Texas, you were eating at other places. What's been your ultimate Michelin-starred restaurant that you've eaten at across the country?
Across the country.
Yes.
Ooh.
I know you mentioned you went to Alinea.
It is in fact Alinea. I went there, and I've been to, I think I've been to close to 10 3-stars across the world now. And Alinea is easily the best meal of my life.
Wow.
I've been to Noma in Copenhagen. I've done Jordanair. I've done tons of other. I've done the French Laundry. I've done tons of iconic restaurants, but nothing matches not just the experience at Alinea, but the food that was on the plate. Because I like judging things bottom line. Service can be awesome, atmosphere can be cool, flavors and techniques can be very interesting and exciting. But if the food doesn't taste good, to me, it's not a great experience. And Alinea provided all of that, and the food was phenomenal.
They are consistently 3 stars in Chicago every time. Speaking of Chicago, then when you come back, you need to definitely try, because we have a few others you want to try. Oriole, which you've probably heard of. Okay.
Yep.
And then Smith, which has maintained, they got 3 stars this year. So we have a lot here. And it would be fun. You have to let me know when you come back, because it's a great way to eat through our city.
Yeah, I am coming back with my wife. We plan on coming back in mid-August, and we're going to do Alinea again and Smith.
Oh, very
So
good.
We'll let you know when we come. But that's the plan. Yeah.
Very fun. Well, it was so great talking to you. And for our fellow Texan listeners, where can they follow you, Drew? Because you're doing your foodie thing online as well, or on social media at least. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I have a newer Instagram. It's at Drew the Food Guy. I know, a little goofy, but it gets straight to the point. At Drew the Food Guy. I've posted reels of I have one more reel to post of a barbecue place in Austin. But I'm posting all the reels on these places on my Instagram. It's pretty new, so follow me, show some love, interact. Don't be scared to say hi. I'm very friendly.
Oh, it was so great to meet you, and you're lucky that you have a wife, for obvious reasons. This is probably why you're together, who has the same interest. Good luck with your new baby. The first year is so much fun. Exhausting, but fun.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. You have been a joy and a pleasure. I look forward to meeting you in person someday.
I do as well. Okay, thanks again. This podcast is produced by Jane Stevens and Jennifer Waters. Original music and audio engineering, Donnie Cutting. Social media, Magali Blaisdell. Promotions and marketing, Julie Loken and the Mediacasters. Thanks for listening to the Supper with Sylvia podcast. If you like and would be so kind, please like, share, and tell a friend, because we can't do this without your love and support. Thanks for listening.